Let's be honest, the best part of reselling is sourcing. It's finding the inventory that you are going to sell. And in this video, we're going to talk about different places that you can venture out to find even more sourcing opportunities.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I'm a part-time reseller, mainly on Poshmark. And if you want to find me over there, my Poshmark closet name is Becky Park. But I also dabble a little bit in Mercari and eBay and even Amazon FBA. So in this video, we're going to be talking about where can you go to find inventory for all of the different reselling platforms that you may be reselling on. We're going to start by talking about a place that probably the majority of you already are familiar with, and that is thrift stores. Thrift stores like Goodwill, Savers, Salvation Army. I'm missing some because there's a ton, but you know what I mean. Thrift stores where people donate the things that they don't want anymore to these different places, and people like us go in and we find some goodies. Because one man or woman's trash is another man or woman's treasure. But even when it comes to thrift stores, I want you to think even more strategically about how to get the most out of your thrift stores. For example, as many of you probably know, places like Goodwill have special deals or sales that they run every week based on the color tag. For example, at my local Goodwill, on every single tag that they put on all of their articles of clothing, or even on their hard goods and whatnot, every tag has a color associated with it. And it'll say right on top of the little price tag what color that tag is. And this week at my local Goodwill, all the black color tags were half off. At my local Salvation Army, they take it even one step farther, and they have a color tag of the week that's 50% off, but they have an additional color tag of the week that's 25% off. So you want to make sure that you are aware of whether or not your local thrift store does anything like that, because you can save some more money that way. My local Goodwill also has a 20% off sale on the last Friday of every month. They also have a day of the week that is a special percentage off for senior citizens, and one day of the week, I believe, that is a certain percentage off for those who are serving in the military. So one thing that you want to do is you want to contact your local thrift store, or maybe look at their website and see if they offer any of those kinds of deals, because maybe you can be saving even more at your local thrift store if only you were to pay attention to the different kinds of deals that they are offering. Because maybe your local thrift store is offering a really cool deal that you don't even know about. There are also some thrift stores that offer fill a bag sales on a certain day of the week or on a certain day of the month. Again, you just have to contact your local thrift store and ask if they do anything like that. I've also heard of some Goodwills or other thrift stores who have like little punch cards, or they have a reward system where they will track how much you're spending, and once you hit a certain threshold, let's say $100, you'll get a certain percentage off of your next purchase. My local Goodwill unfortunately doesn't do anything like that, but I have shopped at Goodwills in towns over where they do track how much you're spending, and you're able to get a certain percentage off once you hit $100. The Goodwill in my mother-in-law's town offers a 20% off discount when you go shopping there in the month of your birthday. There are just all kinds of things that you don't really know about unless you ask. So make sure that you are asking your local thrift stores what kinds of deals they offer, what kind of sales they run, so that you are saving as much money as you can every time you thrift, and so that you're able to take that money that you save and put it in other parts of your business. Another place that you can source that's pretty closely related to Goodwill is Goodwill Outlet, otherwise known as the bins. You can find Goodwill outlets in various cities throughout the country. Unfortunately, I don't have one in my city, but there are some like 2 or 3 hours away. But Goodwill outlets are great because they're just these centers with these great big blue bins, and they are stuffed to the brim with clothes or hard goods or shoes or what have you. And typically at each Goodwill outlet, you will pay for your items by the pound. So you're not paying by item, but you take all of the items that you have found, you bring it to the register, they weigh it, and you pay a certain amount per pound. I believe that the Goodwill outlet closest to me, which is Indianapolis, charges $129 or $139 a pound per clothing. So especially if you're getting some really lightweight stuff, you're getting a really good deal, because you're paying like a quarter or 50 cents on some of these items that may be really lightweight, whereas at the actual thrift store, you may be paying $3, $4, or $5 for that one item. Another place to score some inventory for pretty cheap for the most part are places like garage sales and estate sales. Garage sales are pretty hit or miss because sometimes people are kind of unrealistic with what people will pay for their items, and they are pricing items at like eBay prices or Poshmark prices, and they're asking $20 for a shirt. But oftentimes people are pricing their clothing items or even their hard goods items for really cheap, and for much cheaper than what you'd be able to find at the thrift store, because you're taking out that middle person. You're just dealing directly with the person who wants to get rid of the item. You also have the opportunity at places like garage sales to create deals or bundles for yourself with the person who is selling the items. So if you don't really love the price that they've set for you at the garage sale, you can talk to them and see if they'd be willing to come down a little bit. You can't do that so much with estate sales usually, but oftentimes at estate sales as well, you can find things that are pretty reasonably priced. And if you go to an estate sale where there is a lot of really good stuff, it's a good place to pick up a lot of items in one location. You can find out about garage sales in your local area by using apps like Yard Sale Treasure Map, or you can just look on Craigslist or Facebook and find garage sales that way. There are also websites where they will tell you about local estate sales in your area, but I have found that they also put that information on Yard Sale Treasure Map, and I will link that website or that app down below in the description, so make sure that you check that out if you've never tried Yard Sale Treasure Map yet. Another popular sourcing opportunity is retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is where you're going to retail stores, places like Target or Walmart, or for clothing, you're going to places like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, Nordstrom Rack, and you are finding items there that are new with tags or just brand new in the box, and you are selling them for more on different platforms such as eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. Retail arbitrage isn't for everyone because typically you're paying a lot more at the front end than you are when you are sourcing at places like thrift stores or garage sales. And that's because you're buying things that are brand new. So obviously you're gonna have to pay a premium for those items. However, because they are new with tags or new in the box or new blah, 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 you can typically get more for them. And you're also able to make sure that you are finding things that are more on trend or things that are for sure working if you're buying things like electronics, or you're not buying things that are expired. So there are some definite pros when it comes to buying things retail arbitrage. Another pro to sourcing through retail arbitrage is that you have the opportunity to find many of the same item. And the great thing about that is that you can create one listing for many items, and that saves you a ton of time. So if you are at Marshall's, let's say, and you find 5 of the same face wash, and you know that the profit margin is good, then you can go ahead and list those on eBay, but just create one listing and say that there are 5 of those available. Same thing with, let's say you're at Nordstrom Rack and you find 5 pairs of the same Free People jeans, and there are a variety of sizes, but they're the same exact jean. Then you can create one listing, plug in all the different sizes that you have available, and you've saved yourself a ton of time because you created one listing instead of 5. One thing to be careful of though, especially if you're shopping at places like Marshalls and TJ Maxx, is that sometimes they don't have the tag for the brand, and they only have like the Marshalls tag or the TJ Maxx tag. And when you buy it like that, yeah, it's new with tags. However, do you want your potential customer to see that you bought the item at TJ Maxx for $14 when you're trying to sell it for $42? Probably not. And so when you take the TJ Maxx tag off, it's technically not new with tags anymore. So when you are sourcing at retail places, make sure that the original tag from that brand is attached to the clothing item. The next type of sourcing that we're going to talk about is online arbitrage. This is great for people who don't like to get out of their house. They like to do their sourcing in their PJs. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this, but a lot of you are, and that's awesome. Online arbitrage is when you are going online and you are finding things to flip on your phone or on your computer. Popular places to hit up for online arbitrage are really like any store's website, because again, you are just shopping from the comfort of your own home, and sometimes stores will have great sales and you're able to scoop up a lot of stuff online and just get it shipped to your house. Other popular websites to source from online are places like ThredUp, or The RealReal, or even on apps like eBay and Poshmark, because sometimes you can find people who are just trying to offload items from their own home and they don't really want a lot for it, but they're selling some really good stuff. So if you are one of those types of people that likes to check your Poshmark app every single day for good deals, or you're willing to check eBay every day for good deals. Sometimes you can find things that way. And there's also oftentimes a possibility that places like ThredUp or The RealReal are not pricing things as high as they could, so you could potentially snatch up some items on ThredUp and The RealReal, and although you're probably going to be paying more for them on those websites than you would at like a thrift store or something, if you know enough about that brand or you know enough about that particular item and you know that it's a desirable piece, you could buy it. And oftentimes you can buy it using coupons or online promotional codes, and you can get it at a really good price and then flip it on Poshmark or eBay yourself and still have really great profit margins to justify that initial cost. You can also source online on apps or websites like Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Garage Sale, or Let Go. I'm sure that there are a bunch of other sites as well, but those are 5 apps or websites that I can think of that are pretty popular in terms of people trying to sell their own items. There's not really that middle person per se like there is with ThredUp or The RealReal, but it's just you communicating personally with the seller. And oftentimes, again, people are just decluttering their house and they're trying to let go of stuff for pretty cheap. So if you're pretty vigilant about checking those apps or those websites frequently, you may be able to find some great scores that way. Another great place to source is consignment stores. Now, typically consignment stores do tend to be pricier than thrift stores, but what I have found is that sometimes consignment stores have sales. And so I try to pay really close attention to when consignment stores are having their really big sales, and that's when I hit them up. For example, I recently went to a local consignment store that had their once a year anniversary sale. And they had a fill a bag event where you were able to fill an entire bag of clothing for only $25. And the later that you went in the day, the cheaper the bag became. And if you went in the afternoon or something like that, it was like $3 a bag. So yes, the initial prices that they charge on each individual item is pretty high, but if you're able to hit up those consignment stores on those particular days when they have some great sales running, you might be able to get a ton of stuff for really cheap. It's also not a bad idea to go to consignment stores and just see what they have, because maybe they don't even know the quality of the items that they are receiving and they're not pricing things up as high as they need to. Kind of under this umbrella or under this category of consignment sales, I would also put in there places like Plato's Closet and Buffalo Exchange and other buy-sell trade stores. I once at a Plato's Closet found a pair of frame jeans for like $16 or something like that, and they happened to have a sale that day where it was like buy one get one half off. So I got 2 pairs of jeans that day. I got a pair of Madewell jeans for myself and the frame jeans to resell, and I ended up not really paying a whole lot because I got the frame jeans for half off, so I paid like $7 for them. At the same Plato's Closet, they had silver jeans or Miss Me jeans priced at around $30. So like I said, sometimes consignment stores or buy-sell trade stores, they don't really know what they have. A lot of times it's just really young kids working behind the register pricing items. So if you look around and you are diligent about really like looking at each and every item, you might be able to find some stuff for pretty cheap, and the profit margin might still be there for you to make some money if you were to take it home and flip it on a site like Poshmark or eBay. Another thing to consider when you are dealing with consignment stores or buy-sell trade stores is that if you are bringing stuff in to consign or to trade, you may actually make more money if you take credit from the consignment store or if you decide to trade at a buy-sell trade store. So rather than taking your clothes to a consignment store and saying, how much can I get for these items, they may actually offer you more if you decide to trade within the store rather than just get cash back. So if I brought 4 pairs of jeans and they were willing to give me $20 for them in cash, they might be willing to give me $30 or $40 worth of trade value so that I could just find other stuff in the store. And that's a pretty good way to source too, because it's kind of like you're not really spending money, you're just trading your inventory for their inventory. And the same thing goes for buy-sell trade stores like Plato's Closet. If you bring in clothes and you just want cash back, they'll give you a certain amount, but if you tell them that you're willing to buy something else from within the store, they'll usually give you a larger threshold to work with than if you were to just ask for cash back. Really quickly, I just wanted to mention also different wholesalers that you can get in contact with, and you can order boxes like this one from Via Trading. Via Trading is a liquidation wholesaler that deals with places like Amazon and Macy's and Kmart and Walmart and Sears, and they basically get returns or shelf pulls or different things like that from those different places, and they sell them online for resellers like us. So this is actually a box that they very graciously sent me that I'm going to be doing an unboxing of here soon, and I will have it up on my channel probably like in a week or so because I'm leaving for San Diego tomorrow. It like makes me so sad to not open this and just leave it, but I don't think I have time to actually record an unboxing of this before I leave. But you can see here, this I think actually means Macy's. So we're going to be doing a Macy's unboxing, and you'll see what all is in there. So you can order stuff like this and it just gets sent right to your house. And I do actually have a coupon code for via trading. So if you wanted to try them out, you can actually save $25 off of your first purchase if you use my coupon link that's down in the description below. And also I'll have a discount code for Indo Trading USA because they're having a sale for the month of July as well. I believe it's 15% off your purchase. And then finally, other companies that are also selling these kind of wholesale liquidation lots for resellers especially are places like Fashion Maids, and I'm sure that there are others if you look around, but this is also a really great way to do some sourcing and not have to even leave the comfort of your own home. To end this video, we're going to talk about probably my favorite way to source, and that is just by telling your friends and family what you do and asking them if they have any clothes that they need to get rid of. I have received so much free inventory this way because people know that I am selling money on Poshmark and that this is my side hustle, and so they will bring me bags and bags of clothes. They'd rather go to me, their friend or their family member, than to the local Goodwill or thrift store or whatever. And they know too that if there's anything in their bags that I can't use or I can't really resell, I'll be the one to take it to a local thrift store, and they're okay with that. I have also bought clothes from friends and other people that I know, but for the most part, most of my friends are willing to just give me their clothes for free. So that's probably my favorite way to source because I don't have to pay for it, and I'm all about free inventory because that means every time I sell anything that I've received for free, it's all pure profit. If you want some examples of how I myself have sold items from sourcing at a lot of these different types of places that I've just mentioned, make sure that you check out my What Sold videos, and I will link a few at the end of this video so that you can check them out, because in those What Sold videos, I typically share where I source the items and how much I'm making off of them. And you'll see that I am picking up my items at a variety of places. Some of them are coming from thrift stores, some of them are coming from garage sales, some of them are given to me for free by friends, and there's just a plethora of places that I'm getting my stuff. So if you want to see the end result of all of the stuff that I pick up, make sure that you check those videos out. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope that you picked up some ideas on different places to get some inventory. And if you have other places that you like to source inventory, please share those places down in the comment section down below so that we can learn from one another. If you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button. And if you like reseller content like this, make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well if you aren't subscribed already. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye!